I told my husband my DMs were full of men who would treat me better. A bold statement, right? Well, now he's gone and I'm alone. I guess I should start from the beginning because this whole thing is just a mess. I'm Lexi, 35, and this is how I destroyed my marriage because I couldn't hold my tongue. I met Julian 6 years ago at Mion. I was waiting tables, and he was the head chef. I won't lie. I had a thing for the way he got all serious during dinner rush, barking orders like his life depended on perfectly seared scallops. There was something magnetic about him. Confident, focused, intense. We started flirting during shifts, stealing glances over the hotline. Before I knew it, we were dating. Fast forward 2 years, and we were married. It felt like the real deal, fiery, passionate, like something out of a movie. But here's what no one tells you about passion. It burns out if you don't nurture it. At first, our marriage was great. Date nights, spontaneous road trips, all that honeymoon phase magic. But life happened. Work stress piled up, bills came in, and responsibilities grew. Julian's 12-hour shifts wore him down, and I started to feel like an afterthought. We stopped connecting. Conversations turned into grunts and nods. The passion was gone, replaced by routine and silence. That's when the DMs started. At first, they were harmless. Old friends, acquaintances from high school, even random guys dropping compliments. You're gorgeous. Wish I had someone like you. It was flattering, even addictive, especially when I felt invisible in my marriage. I never crossed any major lines. No meetups, no inappropriate photos. Just innocent flirting. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Julian wasn't clueless. He noticed the way I smiled at my phone, the late-night notifications, and my habit of keeping my screen face down. We started fighting more about trivial things like laundry or forgetting to buy milk. But beneath it all was a growing tension, an unspoken resentment we couldn't admit. And then came the fight, the one that broke us. It was a Saturday. We were supposed to go to a friend's barbecue, but Julian was late again. I was dressed, makeup flawless, scrolling through my phone and stewing in frustration. When he finally walked in, sweaty and tired from work, he barely acknowledged me. He mumbled something about needing a quick shower. I snapped. You know what, Julian? My DMs are full of men who would treat me better than this. The words flew out before I could stop them. I didn't mean it, not really. It was anger talking. But the second I said it, I saw something change in his eyes. Not anger, not hurt, just emptiness. He didn't yell. He didn't throw anything. He just looked at me for a long moment and said, "Then maybe you should go find one of them." And then he walked out. I thought he'd cool off and come back. We always fought like that, loud, messy, dramatic. But this time was different. Days passed. No calls, no texts. I reached out, but he didn't respond. I even drove to his friend's place, thinking he might be crashing there. Nothing. It was like he vanished. Weeks went by. The silence was unbearable. The apartment felt too big, too empty. His toothbrush still sat by the sink, his favorite mug on the shelf. But he was gone. The reality started to sink in. I had pushed him too far. The DMs? They were still there. The compliments, the attention, but suddenly they felt meaningless. None of them were Julian. None of them knew how he liked his coffee, black with just a dash of sugar, or how he hummed when he cooked. None of them made their eyes crinkle when they laughed at their own bad jokes. I kept replaying that moment over and over in my head. Why did I say it? Why was I so quick to throw my marriage away for a fleeting sense of power? I told myself it was just words. But words have weight, and I had thrown a grenade without caring who it hit. One day, I saw him. I was grocery shopping, hair in a messy bun, wearing the same hoodie I'd cried in the night before. And there he was, in the frozen food aisle, laughing at something a woman said. She was pretty, effortlessly so. No makeup, just a natural glow. They weren't holding hands or anything. but the ease between them said enough. He saw me. Our eyes met. No anger, no bitterness, just polite indifference. He gave me a small nod, the kind you give a stranger when you make accidental eye contact. That's when it hit me. I wasn't his person anymore. I went home and cried harder than I ever had before, not because he'd moved on, but because I'd let him. Now, sitting alone in the silence of our old apartment, I think about all the things I wish I'd said instead. I miss us. I feel invisible. I'm scared we're losing each other. But I didn't say those things. I chose arrogance over vulnerability. And I lost. People always talk about the big betrayals, cheating, lies, secrets. But sometimes the words we throw like knives cut the deepest. So here I am, alone. No Julian, just me and my regret. Funny how the DMs don't matter when the one person you want to text never will again.